Flipsters. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Lincoln, and we are happily married.
But not to each other.
Yeah, we're old friends from college, and we're flipping houses in the Austin, Texas area.
And we're taking you along for the ride. Welcome back.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to the Austin Flipsters podcast, get subscribed.
What are you doing?
I'm your host, Lincoln, and my
I'm
co-host,
Lauren.
here.
Yes. Today's going to be a fun one. Today we're talking about our top 10 design trends for 2024, the things we are seeing.
Well, let's be honest. These are your top design trends for 2024. It's generous of you to include me in that. I really had nothing to do with this, but I'm like a design enthusiast. I know it when I see it. So I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm excited for you to share it. Maybe I can
Learn a thing or two.
I'm sure I will learn a thing or two.
This is all about education here.
We're
at
all
Austin
about
Flipsters, so.
educating the masses.
Mm-hmm.
So, but first of all, I want to check in with you, Lauren. I want to see how you've been doing. What have you been up to? How's your life?
Been good. Life's been good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like the fall is always so busy and holidays, and you think, okay, I just got to get to like the spring, and it's just as busy. I don't know what the deal is, but
yeah. You know what's crazy is you're watching this maybe a little later, but it is middle of February
already. Crazy.
And you know what I saw this weekend?
What?
Blue bonnets.
What?
I saw
No way.
little budding blue bonnets.
I thought you were going to say Halloween decor in the stores.
They're already
say it's
getting
way
ready.
too soon.
9 months. No, they expect them in March, but I saw a
Where?
little. Well, I was down south. I was closer to like Corpus Christi, so
Oh, that's right.
it's a little bit. Well, you know, it warms up there a little bit quicker, and I was like, "Is that? It can't
too
be
soon. Well, the groundhog saw a shadow,
Yeah.
didn't see a shadow.
It's early.
It's going to be
spring.
spring. Which one is that?
It's always been the opposite of what you think. So it's like you
did
see
a shadow?
you see the shadow. That means it's stormy and
I don't know. Yeah, it's to me. I always took it like shadows, like miserable winter, but it's probably the opposite. The sun would be brighter, so you would see a shadow.
It's been counterintuitive to me.
I don't know. Comment.
Spring is springing, is what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah. And so we are. We're kind of late on this podcast. We're talking about design trends for 2024. It's almost over.
Well, the first
this point.
the Q1 goes the fastest, because you're saying you're into the new year, and then boom. So you got big plans for 2024? You got anything in store? You make any big purchases?
Big moves.
Are you making any money moves?
We're doing
What are you
we're doing some home improvement stuff. We just upgraded to a king size bed, which I'm excited about. But that
just now
just
are upgraded
now.
to you've been doing a queen this
size.
whole time?
Yeah, I didn't think
And you're still married?
Yeah.
That is
15 years.
Impossible.
Yeah, no, and we have a like 1960s ranch style house, so the rooms are not huge, and I just never really thought it would fit. And then we talked about doing like try and maybe do like an addition, and then we're like, forget that, let's just cram a bed. It turns out it fits fine. We put it on the different wall, but it's like you give a mouse a cookie. So now our end tables don't work.
Yep.
And so then we had to get some new end tables. And then I was like, well, we probably need like a rug. And
Mm-hmm.
then a dress. So basically a whole new furniture. But this is the first time, this is like the first time I'm doing like a cohesive, like it's not just like, oh, I got this dresser from my mom. And I
you
got
gotta
that.
make it work
Yeah,
somehow.
this
You're
is
like starting fresh with
It
all
feels
your
good.
own grown-up furniture.
Yes, I'm a grown up now.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. So
You guys are always tweaking something over there at your house.
we are always improving.
I like that. You're always striving to be better.
Yes, exactly. There's always room for improvement. How about you? What are you up to?
I don't, nothing. I had a baby, as we talked about last time. So a lot there. I got, Elon emailed me.
Did he?
In my invitation to purchase the Cybertruck.
Oh, he invited you to purchase.
Well, it wasn't him personally. It was one of his
Seems like,
minions.
very exclusive, I'm sure.
Back in the day, I didn't even remember doing this, but when he announced it, a decade ago, you put down $100 deposit for this thing, which I guess I did. I didn't
you
even
paid
remember
to get
doing.
the email.
I paid for this email. But now have you seen any of these things driving around?
I've seen the commercial, which I thought the commercial was brilliant.
Wait, what commercial are you talking
The commercial where it's like,
They don't have commercials for these things.
Yes, I do.
For the Cybertruck?
Yes, it was a Porsche. It shows a Porsche
Oh.
racing the Cybertruck,
Sure.
pulling a trailer with a Porsche on it, which I thought was killer
That's pretty
marketing.
genius, right?
Killer marketing.
But you've not seen these in the wild driving around?
Not yet.
They're pretty bizarre. I've seen 3 or 4 of them driving around.
They're a little
Austin.
like Batmobile-ish.
They look very bizarre.
Yeah.
Angular. And to be honest, I'm a Tesla driver. I drive the Model 3 and I love it, but I would love to be up a little bit bigger, but this thing is not super palatable. Like it is polarizing.
You gotta be committed.
Yeah.
Like if you decided to drive one, you'd have to be like, no, this is the bomb. Like you'd have to go full on.
Well, I'm so torn because I feel like once there are enough of these things driving around, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it looks normal.
Yeah.
You could buy one.
Yeah, that happens. Every time there's a new model of anything, I'm like, oh, that's ugly. And then I see it, and I'm like,
And then you're
I
on
want
board.
one.
Are you? Where would you say you are on the adoption curve of stuff? Are you an early adopter?
I definitely not. I remember when my father-in-law got the iPhone, and I was like, what's the point? I did not.
You didn't get it?
Didn't get it. I was like, and now I can't live without it.
See, I'm an early adopter. I had the original iPhone because immediately I was like, this was 2007. You're carrying around the iPod plus your Razr Motorola phone.
Yeah.
And you're like, mash these things
Marry
together.
them together.
I immediately got the appeal of that.
Well, but you don't immediately get the appeal of the truck?
I got the appeal of Tesla. I get the appeal of an electric truck. I like the Rivians. It's the design
Get
that
a Rivian.
I don't know.
Those aren't bad looking.
Well, they are crazy expensive.
So was a Tesla truck.
Well, this is true. But
So are all trucks.
when
though.
I've been driving the Teslas, I'm a little
Everything's
bit
expensive.
Tesla loyal. Speaking of the iPhone, did you seen the Apple Vision Pro, the goggles, the VR?
No.
You've never even
I'm
seen
not an
this.
early adopter.
You're not an early, so you didn't get the iPhone. You're
My
definitely
algorithms are different than
This
yours.
is basically like the new VR headset, but it's AR, so it like renders everything like reality. You've not even seen this.
It's just like living in reality.
Your reality is so good. You don't
Yeah,
even.
I don't even-
Can't even be upgraded at all. This is supposed to be their new platform. So it's like you had the phone and the iPad.
Oh, so now I'm
and
just gonna be living in this virtual
You're
world?
gonna be living in a virtual insanity.
We should flip houses virtually.
You could do it. You could strap these things on.
Okay, I take it back. I have seen designers use these. So
Uh-huh.
they'll put the 3D render in the goggles.
Yes.
And then that gives you an
could be
idea of
doing
what's
tours
happening.
of it. I mean, you could be.
Okay.
You could be
Get
saying,
some.
I want this wall down.
Let's do it. Get some.
Well, they're $3,500, so
Oh.
you know,
Thought you were gonna say 1,000.
$35,000. These things, well, they are okay. They are definitely going to be one of the tech trends of 2024. I'll tell you that.
Is that gonna be your next podcast? Tech trends.
tech trend? I'm
Okay.
turning into a tech influencer.
Stay tuned.
Watch out, Marquez Brownlee, coming for you. No, I won't be.
Okay.
But those. So speaking of trends, I want to hear your trends. I want to get into it.
Okay,
Because
let's do it.
you've prepped. What is this? Your top 10 design trends?
These are my top 10. Yes. I'm not claiming to be like necessarily a trendsetter, but these are the things that I'm seeing over and over again when I'm on social media, and it's what our clients are asking
What
for.
establishes a trend? How do you know it's a trend?
You just see it all over the place.
Yeah.
How is a Stanley? I was an early adopter on Stanley water bottles.
You were?
Yes.
The Stanley cups. I noticed you got us new cups here,
Yeah.
brought to you by
The
Homemade.
folks of Homemade.
But these aren't Stanleys. These are Yetis.
That's because you didn't like the Stanleys. They're too big or something. They fall over and they leak water.
Well,
Just
they
not
have
untrue.
issues. I'm also a Yeti's an Austin company. Texas.
I didn't want to get stampeded in getting these, so.
What
Have
is
you not heard about this?
No.
So they released some new Stanleys at Target that were like,
Oh yeah.
people were like
losing it.
losing
That's
it.
how you know that's peak trend, right?
Yeah,
if
it's
you've got to
over.
fight people
It's
at a
jumped the shark.
retail store, fighting for your Beanie Babies or your Tickle Me Elmos or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and now there's getting all this pushback where it's like, oh, so you're a reusable cup, but do you need 12 of them? This defeats the whole purpose. It's going to end up in a landfill. It's worse.
I probably have 15 yet. Not even. This is actually my first Yeti with the like handle, but I probably of just
Boots with the fur.
I probably have 15 of the other just like regular ones with a mag lid. And the other
Hashtag
day,
humble brag.
humble brag, I'm rolling in them. I'm rolling in Yetis, y'all. And no, but I went to a business meeting the other day. And the meeting's going well. Right in the middle of the meeting, they bust out their branded Yeti and give it to me as swag. and I still freaked out. It was my 16th one, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is."
How did you feel about getting this one?
Yeah, it was cool. It was. It was less. I had some notes, to be honest, but
Yeah.
I don't want to throw you under the bus, but I was excited. I was excited about this one. I also knew this one was coming as branding my own stuff. As somebody else's swag, I was incredibly impressed.
So you can be bought for a cup.
Yeah, for a Yeti, I got one in the mail one time from a mortgage originator. I thought
Really?
we still use it. We still talk about it. Like that was
Good
was
branding.
great customer acquisition strategy. I mean, that wasn't cheap. That
No.
probably dropped $30 to like customize
More than
it,
that.
mail it to me.
More than that.
More than that.
Yeah.
You got to get on their level.
Level up. Okay, so back to
Sorry.
enough
for
about
that.
cupware trends.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some design trends.
Let's get into it.
So I'd say I tried to, put a number to it so we could, what's the word you use, Massiel? List?
It's a listicle.
Listicle. Okay, yeah. So this is a listicle, top 10. Kind of an overarching one, or one that I'm seeing a lot, one that I have fully embraced, is this really like earth tone, organic, modern vibes.
Okay.
So what this is, obviously white oak has been in for a while now. First kind of popular on, floors. We've been doing white oak floors. I'd say white oak floors are like a standard now. If you see, would you agree?
White oak floors?
Yeah.
Are standard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're very common. I'm still impressed by them. I still think they work.
I still like them. I'm still rocking them, but until proven otherwise.
I would even put them in the like timeless category in a way.
Oh, timeless.
You think they're going away?
I don't think they're going away anytime soon. I'm just saying it's kind of ubiquitous now. Like it's not even really.
It's table stakes.
It's table stakes. Exactly. And so, but I will say like the white oak cabinetry has had a moment. It's still going, but what I've noticed is it's now moving into furniture. So like a lot of the tables, a lot of, my new bed.
Yeah.
White oak, right?
Oh.
Instead of like a walnut or
Yeah,
like a
those
cherry.
darker tones.
Cherry's like way passe.
I have cherry cabinets in my house. I hate them.
Let
I do
me
hate
guess
them.
when your house was
Yeah,
built.
exactly. It's like
2008.
It's worse than that. It was built in 2011, and it was already out of style in 2011. I didn't build the house or design it. A builder bought it, and we almost didn't buy this house because I was
of those
like,
cabinets?
because of these
Paint 'em.
cabinets. Oh, I don't want to paint. I would stain them potentially.
Okay.
I'm not like you, Lauren. I can't renovate my house constantly. And we do this for a living all day. It's renovate a house. The idea of coming home to more renovations on my home. So people think, they're like, oh, you must be renovating all the time. I have no appetite to do it on my own house.
Yeah.
I don't even want to like build my own house at this point because that's like what I do all day for work.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that, but
Not you.
Not
you
me.
You can't get enough.
I can't get enough.
You eat, breathe, sleep.
Yes.
Home renovations.
Totally. So yes, white oak still around. I would say in kitchens, and then this is, moving on to number 2, but I'll come back to one, is seeing a lot of mixed materials, which, I'm all about. I've been preaching mixed metals since 2000.
It's controversial. It's controversial.
Well, now it's just mixed everything.
What does that mean? What do you mean mixed?
Like, so in the kitchen, you'll have like a warm wood tone island, and then your perimeter cabinets will be black or white.
Yep.
And then even your countertops will be mixed. So they'll have like a leathered granite for one with a quartz for the other. Or, just like everybody wants it's like the buffet of design. I don't want to pick one thing. I want to go to Luby's,
I have a harder time. I guess, when it looks good, it looks good. I have a little bit harder time with that. Just my instinct is to match things. But when
You're a
you see it,
matchy kind of person?
When you see it, it looks good, but I can't pick out two things that complement each other. So I feel like a default to matching.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even like, I think it's a kind of a broader trend too. Like even at weddings now, it's like, instead of having the bridesmaids all in the same dress, they're in like color, like a color scheme or different
that I
silhouettes.
do like. I like when they have, I don't mind the same color. I like when they have different cuts of dresses.
Okay.
Because not everybody looks good in the same cut of dress. No shade to
Tell
anybody.
us more about that.
No, I'm not going to be no specifics. I'm saying different different body shapes and heights and widths and all that.
Well, and
They're
different
flattering on different people.
Yeah, and you can your own like interpretation or your own.
Yeah.
Like not have to be.
And for me, for like a tuxedo, I'm more of like a long tail and a top hat.
That's
kind
just
of
to get your
top hat.
driver's license. That's not even a wedding.
Yeah, that's just. That's just
When are hats gonna make a big comeback?
Top hats?
I feel like we should.
I've been
No,
waiting.
like the 1920, like the Paperboy,
Like a bowler?
yeah, those were all, like when is that coming back? It feels like we're due for that again.
We're
100 years
bowlers to
again.
make a comeback. The newsy caps made
Yes.
a comeback there for a minute.
Kind of, but like
They had a moment.
I feel like there was an era where everybody wore a hat all the time. Where we lost
Well, we're
that?
doing it now, but now it's rope hats.
Beanies?
The rope hats.
Oh yeah, frat
They're
boy
in.
hats.
Frat boy hats. Hats are alive and well, just not felt hats.
Bring back the felt.
You want the felt hats.
Bring back the felt. Okay, so speaking of felt,
Yeah, I love this transition.
so again, going back to the organic modern, this earthy vibe. So we're talking a lot of like textures, cozy textures. I don't know how to say this word, but as I was looking at furniture for my own house, a lot of boucle. How would you say it? Boucle.
B-O-U.
Boucle.
I have no idea.
It looks like a teddy bear. So it looks like you skinned a teddy bear.
Oh.
No, in a good way. Here, let me show you. I gotta pull up a picture. But
You got pictures?
Yeah,
of
it's
this
like-
skin teddy bear look?
see this chair?
Like
Kind of that fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So that's really, really in right now.
Interesting.
I just bought a bench in that for my room.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got a baby rocker in this
Yes.
situation.
Boucle.
I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's very much a trend. So like kind of that touch and feel, and then going back to like tones, lots of creams, lots of taupes. Which I didn't think like I would be a taupe person. I'm a taupe person. In Shadow Valley, we did taupe in that shower.
What is the difference in taupe and beige?
Taupe is like went to college, you know?
Okay. But yeah, say less. I get it.
Okay. So taupe is an elevated beige.
Elevated beige.
And before we just could only go grayish, but now we're introducing beige again. Beige is
Beige.
coming back in a big way.
It all comes full
2024,
circle.
mark it down.
We got rid of, in 2008, we had to get rid of all the browns and whatever.
They're back, baby.
A little bit.
Just a little bit, a
And-
light touch.
And they got educated. They got their masters. We're bringing them back as taupe this time.
Yeah, and all the lighting tends to be like this natural, like wood
I like that, yeah.
kind of looks. So organic all the
Okay,
way.
so number one trend.
With your groceries and your house, go organic. No
I lo-
pesticides.
I love that. I love that. No non-GMO here. Okay, so your number one trend is earth tones, organic,
Yes.
modern. Love that. Okay,
Yes.
what else?
So number 2 was that mixing of materials in the kitchen, which we talked
we
about
already
a
talked
little
about
bit.
number
Let me
2.
show you some pictures because I feel like you're not convinced.
Well,
I got to get you out of your matchy phase. This
Okay.
is not like family pictures, you know? We need, you gotta.
I do my family pictures the traditional way. We all wear denim on denim and we go to the beach. And then we lay on each other in a big dog pile.
Button down white shirt with jeans.
White. Yeah.
Definitely had one of those.
How God intended family pictures to be
Yeah.
done.
So I don't know if you can see like where you've got sort of this warm, this I guess is probably more of a white oak island with the
Yeah.
matte blacks. Now they did their same countertop throughout, but their backsplash is a quartz countertop.
I see.
Yeah.
I've not seen that where they did the
2 different countertops.
counter splash as
in
a different material.
Yes.
Wow, that's fancy. Okay, I like that.
Also, I mean, they're rocking all of it. They got the floating shelves, which are still a thing. They've got the ceiling treatments, which we'll get to in a second. But
okay.
they're just rocking it. Or like this one where it's white outer cabinets.
I like that. I like mixing the island and then the perimeter
So
cabinets.
you can do it. You can
I'm
do
on board.
it.
Okay, yeah, I'm on board.
All right.
What else?
So yeah, I'd say that's kind of a mixture in the kitchen. Staying in the kitchen.
Okay. Is
Trend
this trend
I've
number-
seen.
What trend is this?
This is trend number 3.
Okay.
Double islands. Now, obviously, you have to have a certain
Double
caliber
island.
house to get a double island, certain size.
You need enough room.
But yeah, I've seen it where one of the islands is like an island that you sit at, and the other one has like a sink or a stove, more of like a working island.
A worker's island.
A worker's island. And then, or you just have like a big old kitchen that you're trying to use up space, but double islands.
Goodness.
What do you think about that?
Everybody congregates around the island in
So
the
then what are
kitchen.
they doing here?
Well, so it's, I guess more of a good thing is still a good thing.
Maybe.
Which island do you congregate around?
Well, so you've got like the chairs over here. I just feel like you'd be on an island, no pun intended, by the time you're sitting way over here and your sink is in this island. Like that's a haul.
It's just, and it's also a lot of apparatus in that kitchen. In my mind, that could be one giant island that combined utility.
Giant.
A giant island, like Australia, you know? That's more like a continent. Maybe a New Zealand-sized island. I mean, I like this. It seems to take up, like I said, a lot of real estate there. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on the double island.
Because I think then you're sort of like dividing your dinner party, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm on this island. You're over here.
Do you do the second island in lieu of, say, a dining table?
Maybe. Maybe.
Because I like that trend, especially in a smaller house where you just ditch the dining table altogether, and it's like
No separate dining room at all. Like that's the
Definitely no-
only dining is at the kitchen counter.
I'm on board with that.
That's bold.
Honestly, I'm a big fan of the double island just
Okay.
because think of the scenario, right? Dinner party. You're
Yeah.
hosting people. You're cooking on one island. You've got a charcuterie board on the other.
Oh,
all your
you're
other
not-
friends are on
okay.
the other side, sat down out of your way. Because, like, when you're, let's say there's like 5, 10 people all in one room and you're trying to prepare things all in the other, like,
Yeah.
that can help distribute things. Or if you're, cooking on one island and you've got kids, they could be on the other island doing homework or, have a lot of space to be able to do things and it's not impeding your cooking. So I'm a big fan of that. Man, if I had room for that, I would do that, honestly.
I mean, everybody congregates to the kitchen so much. I guess I'm in favor of anything that incorporates like the utility of other rooms into your kitchen. So be that the dining room or
So just throw up a
entertaining
big
spaces.
TV.
I would be okay with it. I think
Put in a toilet.
I think you could.
Murphy bed.
Yeah, I have.
I'm just trying to think what are the other things.
Limits. I have some limits to what I'll put in the kitchen. I draw the
In
line
Europe
at toilet.
they do washer and dryer in the kitchen.
I'd be on board with that. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the harm in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not a bed, maybe not sleeping arrangements, but definitely some of the entertaining space. A fireplace in your kitchen.
Oh, I'm all about that.
You want see?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's some Gilded Age stuff right there.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Homemade. What is Homemade? Well, glad you asked. Homemade is a turnkey house flipping service we've built to solve the needs of aspiring flippers like you who want to get started in house flipping but want to do it with the backing of a professional and experienced team. We've designed Homemade so that our team will be with you through every step of your house flipping journey. Our team will deliver investment grade properties straight to your inbox. We'll work with you to design your project to maximize ROI. We'll oversee the renovations and handle all the permitting requirements. Along the way, we'll hook you up with our vetted network of service providers to help finance, insure, and stage your property. Once your project is wrapped, we'll be with you arm in arm to execute your exit plan, whether that's through a sale as a flip or holding the property in your personal portfolio as either a long or short-term rental. At Homemade, we've taken the outdated and frustrating house flipping process and turned it into a seamless and rewarding experience so that novice and even seasoned flippers can have access to this investment class without having to delve too deep into the nitty-gritty everyday headaches that this business often entails. At Homemade, we do the heavy lifting for you. So if you've always wanted to flip a house, head on over to homemade.co to learn more about our platform and apply to work with us. That's homemade.co. Peace. Weren't you telling me about a house that you toured that had 2 kitchens? Just straight up double kitchens?
I did. Yes, this was wild. It was they had the show kitchen and then the work kitchen. And it was all, they basically had, the giant island and all of this. And then it was a big wall that wasn't a separate room. You could go around it to get behind the wall. And then behind that wall was full second kitchen. So dishwasher,
so they're not even
sink,
trying
refrigerator.
to hide it.
Well, no, you were trying to hide it. You couldn't see it from the main space.
Okay, but how do you get to it?
you just walk around either side of the wall.
Okay.
So the wall was open on either side, and that's where you just throw your dirty dishes, or I guess if you had servants or whatever to be, waiting on your hand and foot.
Making your shepherd's pie.
I thought that was wild to just have full on second kitchen.
Second kitchen. That takes second island to a whole nother level.
You know what I am a fan of that I think more people should be doing if you got the space for it is just straight up doubling up on a lot of appliances. So double dishwashers.
Yep.
Double washers and dryers.
Yeah.
I've got a garage fridge, but I could use a full on second fridge in the house.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
There's not an appliance I couldn't use a second one of. Maybe single microwave, but even that, you could get away with two microwaves.
Double ovens.
Double ovens, of course.
Because pretty much, one of the only times I'm ever using the oven is if I have people over, and then you got to cook multiple things at the same time.
Exactly. If you need one oven, you need two.
Exactly.
That's what I always say.
I agree. So that brings me to another trend, which is similar as the Butler Pantry.
Okay.
And this, I'm not sure I can get behind the whole second kitchen, but the Butler Pantry is...
Okay, now tell me, what's the difference in a pantry and a Butler Pantry?
You do more in a Butler Pantry, okay? There's more going on.
Okay.
A pantry is just for the commoners. A Butler Pantry is if you would have a whole butler situation. No, it's got
What's he doing in there?
Whatever you want him to do in there. Let me find a picture for you here. Okay, so it's like this. So then that's where your second fridge lives. That's where you could have an extra dishwasher in there. You've got another sink in there. A lot of times people have a microwave. It's basically like a giant walk-in pantry that has a lot more function to it.
I see. You got a sink in there. Yeah.
This is where all your second appliances live.
So this could be second kitchen. What I was describing might have been just a glorified
big Butler's Pantry.
Yeah, but it was so much more than that. it was a nice kitchen it would be a dream kitchen for most houses. But I can be on board with this. I like this.
I like this a lot. If I had room.
A lot of these trends are just predicated on like how much space you got
and how much money you have.
And a ton of money, of course.
And that's where it's challenging too. We get a lot of comments about what we would have done, could have done, should have done. Mm-hmm. And in our business, we're always concerned with the return on the investment. And so It doesn't make sense to do a lot of these things. Maybe if we were doing some new builds or whatever.
Yeah. Talk to me about how you'd think about like the ROI of a Butler's Pantry, because Yeah.
It depends on the neighborhood. I mean, there's certain neighborhoods in Austin, if we were, doing a whole tear down situation, but the houses we're typically working with, we like to do houses from the 70s to 90s era. They don't have that capacity usually to carve that out. If you were starting from scratch, definitely would include that. But
I would say the sweet spot of like the sizes of houses that make good flips, like in our area, are 1,500 to 2,000 square feet a lot of times. So a Butler's Pantry like this
is our kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the size of your kitchen, or it's at least, that could be 100 square feet, that could be 5% of your entire house dedicated to the pantry.
Yeah, so a lot of these trends don't make sense for us necessarily. It's just kind of interesting to take into account, especially a lot of the things, like we can do a lot with color, we can do a lot with materials to a certain standard, certain level. But I think, ultimately this just gives us insight into like what buyers are dreaming about and what can we incorporate. If we can't put the full on Butler Pantry, maybe we can do the little wine niche like we're doing over at the Butterfly House.
Okay, I'm hooked. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. What else?
I'm learning so much about the trends for 2024. What else?
Okay, so another trend that I love, but is hard to implement in a flip necessarily, is these like unique ceiling treatments. Have you noticed this? Where a lot of people are doing beams, a lot of beams. A lot of like really nice beams or ceiling treatments. We do this a little bit. We did this with paint at Shadow Valley where we painted that dining room ceiling, but I've seen a lot where they'll do wallpaper, which is cool, or a wood, some kind of wood element on the top. I don't know if you can notice this. And again, that kind of goes to this like organic feel, or having a lot of like natural elements, and the wood kind of gives it that cozy feel. So I've noticed a lot of this. I thought this one was cool, which we could probably actually do sometime, where it's like the thin
Oh yeah, they
wood.
is that? I don't know if that's built in. Sometimes I've seen them like even build in the headboard for the primary bedroom,
Bed.
and then extend it up the feature wall or
and
onto
the ceiling. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a lot of work. That's a big commitment too, because I mean you got to put the bed right there.
Yeah.
And
There's no changing it.
yeah, exactly. I love that though. I love the idea of running stuff to the ceiling. Ceiling is a lot of underutilized real estate, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's vast swaths of square footage that doesn't get a lot of love typically. You know, one time we did, we painted the ceiling like a little rectangular cutout. You remember that? To sort of define a dining room space. I loved that.
That was cool.
That was cheap.
Yeah.
It's just paint, but it kind of gave the effect of one of these, of a more, you know, like a high-end sort of ceiling treatment just with paint. I like that a lot.
And if you wanted to take it even higher end, like you can put some wood treatment up there and then paint that so it has that texture and stuff. So yes, I mean, you know, ceilings are the new frontier in design. So
I like that. You don't see the wallpaper on the ceiling a lot, but I like that a lot too.
yeah, especially if you're just gonna do one wall, which typically that's all we have budget for. Like, might as, you know, it's the fourth wall, fifth wall, depending on the room.
Well, yeah. Is it the fifth wall, or is the floor the fifth wall? Is it the sixth
wall?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or is the audience, is your connection to the audience the true fourth wall? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, staying in the kitchen for one final trend that I've noticed is kind of, I'm lumping these together. These are two different things, but I've seen a lot of custom range hoods.
Okay.
A lot where they'll do like plaster, or they'll do it in a certain color, or they'll accent with metal. Just kind of giving it a little more pizzazz than you see just the classic stainless steel, which we do a lot of because it's cheap, but I never really like them.
You don't like the just plain stainless steel vent hood at all.
Not really. It's fine.
Yeah, well, you're right. These are well, they can be. It depends on what you're doing here. Like they can range from easy to do to hard to do. But I like the sort of
The plaster? How do you feel about plaster?
Look. Yeah, I like that look.
I like that. I like when they build it into the cabinets too.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like a wood facade around. I think that's cool. Yeah, I like the plaster. It's got a good vibe.
Yeah, I feel like vent hoods.
I think it'd be hard to execute that though. Plaster.
Yeah. To make these look right is not easy.
The curvature.
Yeah, this is another one of these like big space kitchen ideas, because you know a lot of times in smaller kitchens the microwave and the hood vent compete for space.
Yeah.
If
I really hate those.
They're not. I agree, but sometimes if you want to get in a microwave,
it's the only spot.
The only spot is to put it above the stove, and I hate the look of it myself too. But if you sub out any kind of hood vent there, then you take up cabinet real estate. And in a small kitchen, sometimes you may only get one or two upper cabinets or a few lowers. So like that can be the difference in selling that house versus not if you don't have enough storage.
Yeah, that's a good point. So these really tend to be in the kitchens where you've got huge islands or two islands or plenty of cabinet space. That's a good point.
I mean, a lot of these pictures too, these really nice kitchens, you don't even see the microwave.
Yeah, because it's in a drawer, which is the best thing in the world.
I agree.
I love a drawer microwave for a lot of reasons, most of which is it's down low enough where kids can use it. Game changer.
The only problem I have with them is they're a little slow to open. I get a little impatient waiting on it. You know, it takes so long. Come on out.
And then you got to push it back in.
And they're quite a bit more expensive than a
they
regular
are quite
microwave.
A bit.
Why is that? Just because of
that drawer mechanism, that thing that you're complaining about.
I agree. They look great. They are much more functional, and you don't have to stare one in the face. But man,
pricey.
They're pricey.
So what we'll do a lot is we'll take a normal microwave and we'll build out the cabinet to make it look like a drawer microwave, but it's not.
I'll put
Actually, that's a
trimmer on it.
hack.
Yeah, I prefer that, to be honest, because I like them down low, but I don't want to have to wait on that drawer. And the drawers will break.
Just want the pop.
They break because the kids are shoving them and they're impatient. They're pushing them in there.
Oh, is
know
it
what
the
I mean?
kids?
It's
the
me.
kids that
It's me.
that are breaking
I've been
it.
breaking every drawer microwave because I can't wait
Just
on
take it as opportunity for zen. Just downtime, you know?
The person who wants Zen and the person who wants their meal hot in 60 seconds are not the same person. You know what I mean? That's the opposite of what I want when it's microwave time. I need instant gratification.
I think you're letting your blood sugar get too low.
Sometimes that happens, man. Sometimes that happens.
Okay, so staying in the range concept, another thing that I've seen a lot are these range alcoves, which again, I mean, all of these trends are like Pinterest trends, so they all are like nice kitchen trends, but I kind of dig this. I first saw this at the, do you ever watch the Stouffer Designs show, Established Home? It's really good. It's
I don't watch any design shows.
Okay, well, it's this mom and her daughter. I think it's HBO, Netflix, maybe. I don't know. And they do really, really cool stuff. But they're the first people that I saw do this, where it's basically they take the whole wall and center the stove in there, and it's like inset to where you can have like your spices and stuff inside.
Yep.
And then your range hood typically will go span the whole space, or you'll do like a curved alcove like this. Chris Loves Julia did one, which are another designers that I like.
Okay, I like that.
So
You know-
what are your thoughts on this?
You know what it reminds me of is high school chemistry class. You know, did you ever have the fume hood that?
That you go under?
If you're mixing chemicals, you had to put it under the big fume hood so it
I
sucked
forgot
it
about
all
that. I
out so
remember
you
that.
didn't poison yourself. Or,
Eye wash station.
yeah, the eye goggles thing that you had in case of emergency, and then there was a shower there too.
Yeah.
That could
Anybody ever have to use that? Has anybody ever had to use this?
I never seemed like it would be very efficient. It was like the eye one was like a little eye bidet, you know, that you just put your eyeballs right in there and it would just splash up in them.
Yeah.
I pity the
man.
fool who had to use that. That sounds
Ooh,
terrible.
That sounds, yes.
You're desperate. That's what this makes me think.
Is an eye wash state or
Is
the
safety,
hood vent?
chemistry? No, yeah, but this was a different thing in chemistry class. It was a full-on hood vent like this that was
Yeah.
behind,
I forgot. And you would,
protected
like-
behind
So
glass.
why were they letting us mix those chemicals to begin with? If it was that dangerous.
To be honest, it doesn't seem necessary that I needed to do that in high school. I didn't need to take that risk to get to where I am now.
Totally not.
Yeah, I'm not using that in my everyday. But, you know,
So you're not putting in a range alcove.
no, I like them. I like this idea. I like this concept actually. I'm very fond of my high school chemistry days. I actually think it looks really cool, and I think what I like most about it is that it gives you another sort of like defined space or room within the kitchen. It adds this element of
Like tucked away. Or,
interest and purpose for that little space rather than being like out in your face in the rest of the kitchen. And to your point, I like that you've now kind of got 2 extra little wall wings where you could store
stuff.
stuff.
Because nobody wants to see that stuff, and it doesn't fit in
Yeah.
the cabinets anyway.
Yeah, I like this. I've never seen this before, but I'm on board.
Well, I'm so glad that I can expose
You're
you to something
broadening
new.
my horizons.
I am broadening your horizons.
Just like high school chemistry class did.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar. Okay, so let's move over to the bathrooms now,
Let's.
right? As far as design trends. And let's talk about a lot of my trends had to do with tile, which, I mean, really that's like your primary design element in a bathroom.
Yeah.
But what I've seen a lot of and what we've experimented with a little bit is 2 types of tile in the shower. So rather than having the same tile on each wall, a lot of times you'll see it where they'll have one type of tile on the wall with the plumbing and the back wall, and then another type on sort of the long wall. And I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Where am I seeing where we're mixing the 2 different
So
walls?
like at Quillberry where we had, it was
Yeah.
the same pattern,
Yeah,
but we
yeah.
had the gray and the black, or like the house that we're comping right now
Yeah.
for our newest project where it's like green tile on one and then large format gray on
see.
the other.
Got it. I like that okay.
I feel like you're a little more of a purist.
No, not necessarily. I like that. Okay. I think it depends on the two tiles. I feel like that has the opportunity to become dated more quickly. But I've liked it okay when we've done it, but not as much as I feel like I should like it.
Okay, let's get to a trend that you would like.
I
which
want to talk about it.
Using the tile itself
Yes.
to make a pattern rather
Yes.
than using pattern tile. This would be like, to your point earlier, 2 different types of subway tile, making vertical stripes.
Yes.
Or
And I absolutely love this trend. So yeah, you make them into stripes or some interesting pattern. And you know why I love this is because unlike a lot of these other trends that we're talking about where you need a ginormous house or you need a ton of money, this costs basically no more money in materials to do
slightly
this.
more in labor, potentially.
Maybe a little more in labor depending on the pattern and how complicated that is, but not much. I mean, some of these are super simple. They're as simple as like alternating a stripe, or I like, you have one on here it's not alternating stripes. They're like asymmetrical. So it's like 3 stripes in a row, then one over here.
I like that one a lot.
That one looks so sharp. And that, like I said, that's basically free to do.
Yep.
Or not free. I mean, it's no more to do than it would cost to just tile that shower, and adds a ton of visual interest and just enough like little funky, quirky element. I love that.
Yep.
We need to be doing that on every house. I love this.
Every house.
Every
Wow.
house needs this.
That's a solid
Every house
commitment.
that we flip, I
Needs
love
that
this.
element.
Needs this because, like I said, speaks to my flipper heart, where I can see the art and science of this. I can see that it's a win visually and aesthetically, and it's also a win financially for the project.
Yeah, what I want to do is not only the stripes, but also the checkerboard. I think the checkerboard is really fun.
Okay,
It's a little bolder.
We're gonna have to beef on this one a little.
You don't like the checkerboard? It's too country?
Tell me why you like the checkerboard.
Just because it's like a very bold pattern. I don't know. I think it's fun. And I've seen it on floors and on shower walls. And I think it's just in that marble black and white checkerboard look is really in right now. I just think it's fun for the same reason you mentioned.
I'm less a fan somehow of the checkerboard, especially on the walls. I don't love it on the walls.
Are you bad at chess?
It reminds me of chess. Is exactly what it reminds me of. I love chess. I just don't want to play it in the shower. You know what though? I will say I like it more on the floors
than on the wall.
And the bigger the format, the more I like it.
Yeah, because it's just less checkerboard.
No, it's something about that. A larger format feels more like elegant and stately. Feels like a really nice hotel foyer or
elegance and class.
Elegance and
my
class.
Friend. Do you know that?
No,
Luann de Lesseps.
Who?
Luann de Lesseps from Real Housewives of New York. She had they all have these like songs, these like money grab songs, and hers was elegance and class, my friend. Anyway.
That was niche. I can't believe you thought I would know that. That sounds
well. Marjorie watches a lot of Bravo. I don't know if you
cringe. I'm sure
just absorbed it.
I'm sure a lot of our audience knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is elegance in class, my friend.
Yeah, I agree. The bigger, the larger the tile, the
larger
classier
the format, the classier it is. So I'm on board with the checkerboard. With that
large format checkerboard.
With that caveat, it's got to be huge.
How do you feel about wood look tile? This one, where it looks like.
Wait, which one?
Looks like bamboo wood almost.
Okay, wood print tile had a moment 8 years ago, maybe when they first came out with it, and I immediately thought it was great, and then it got played out almost instantly.
Yeah,
but this stuff. I know what you're talking about. It is kind of wood look, but in more like a bamboo or not such a huge grain. And I, again, am on board with this, but I have the same fear that it is going to date like the other wood look tile. Yeah. We used at the project by the beach, the beach house. We used that denim look tile. Mm-hmm. It looks like jeans. On the tile. How do you feel about that?
I like it.
you're not sold.
Not totally sold.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way where I was like, ooh, really on board at first. And then
It looked really cool in the showroom.
right. And then on the walls, I'm like,
Because I think
I'm going to get tired of this.
Yeah, and I don't love I feel like kind of mailed it in on the primary shower.
Mm-hmm.
Like it feels, yeah. The tile is my least favorite thing about the beach house.
I will say though, in that shower
Upstairs?
in the primary shower at the beach house, I love the shower hardware.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And we painted those cabinets a different color.
We did, and that was good.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Should have did more of that.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I can maybe be on board. I guess that's my take on sort of like tile that is pretending to be something else. Is like I'm just a little cautious that that's gonna get worn out quickly.
Fair. One trend that we are all over is the Zeliage tile.
Yeah, you've been using that right and left.
Yes, because it looks good. It looks more expensive than it is.
It's kind of got like it's a little glossy. It's kind of got a sheen to it, right?
It's shimmery.
Shimmery, and then it's also got like undulations and natural little variants in it.
Yes, so each tile is a little different. They're handmade so that when you put them up, it's not a uniform look across the board. Mm-hmm. The thing that it does have that people need to be aware of is it doesn't lay perfectly when you're installing it. It's going to have a little bit of some of the tiles going to like puff out a little bit, I guess, because they are all different. So you got to be, cool with that. But if you are, it turns out beautiful.
I'm loving it for now.
Okay.
I'm loving it.
You don't think it has a long shelf life?
TBD. And we've done it both in the square format and the sort of rectangular format. And I'm torn between which I prefer. Right now, I'm thinking I like
square.
No, right now I'm thinking I like the rectangles, but I'm not sure.
See, I like squares. I'm into squares right now.
Okay.
I do. What do you think about vertical stack tile? Because for a long time it was brick pattern.
Yep.
And now we're all stacking. We're going straight stack. Do you feel like vertical and horizontal? Do you think that's just having a moment?
I was with you in that the vertical stack felt very 70s or 60s almost for a minute, and now it's having a moment again, and I'm here for it.
You're on it. You're on team
I
vertical
like
stack.
it, and I like it. You can do it the direct stack, one-to-one stack, or you can do it slightly off.
I kind of like that.
I like them both. In fact, I think I probably prefer the slightly offset even, but yeah, I'm loving that.
Yeah, same. It's here to stay.
And again,
Can't even imagine what kind of tile installation will be in the future. Like what?
It'll be so crazy. And again, I like that because, the tile pattern, one, that's simple, and two, it costs nothing.
Yep.
So I'm here
But it really does make the house feel more modern, the way that the tile's installed.
Yeah. Which
is crazy.
It's weird how these trends, it's weird how you can walk into a house and you can just you can timestamp when that house was done.
Stamp?
You can tile stamp it based on the tile and the pattern. It's crazy. I know exactly when a house was done or redone based on the interior vibe and just things as simple as like the tile patterns.
We should do that for a game.
Oh, guessing
sometime.
the year
A guessing
built?
game.
I would nail it. I would nail that.
Okay. Game on. Let's do it.
Okay, what else you got? I don't even know what trend number we're on here.
I know. Can you believe it? We're already to number 10.
This is the
Just
final
like that.
trend.
Yes, time flies.
Is this, by the way, were these in any particular order? Is this?
Well, they were, and then we jumped around a little bit, so.
I mean, ranking wise.
Oh, ranking
Like,
order.
is number 10 the best or the worst? Or
No, well, let me finish number 10, and then I'll go through and I'll rank
got
them.
so many questions.
My favorites.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay,
Right,
so
number
10 is paint.
Finally painting your house is the trend.
Yes. No, I would say a lot of deep, rich colors. So a lot of like deep blues,
Deep, rich
paneling,
colors. Okay.
olives.
Okay.
A lot of like I'm seeing a lot more on exterior in like the moody greens, like away from forever it was always white, sometimes black. We've done some black houses.
Yeah.
This is more like forest green makes it sound different than I'm thinking, but like, do you know what I mean? Like very slightly green black.
I'm here for that. I thought you were gonna say like a deep like navy. don't even know quite the color, but for like an office or whatever. You seen those?
Yes, where I love when it's paneled and it's all painted dark. Have you seen these where they'll do the bar, like a bar? They'll panel a bar and paint it like a lacquered to where it's like real shiny. It looks awesome. I'll pull a
real
picture.
shiny bars?
Real shiny.
And dark?
Yeah, or like one of my favorite designers is out of Houston. She's an Aggie, and she has a bar that's like maroon lacquered.
Okay. Let me. Since you came up with the trends, I need to. I'm gonna fact check you. I'm gonna rank these.
Okay.
Tell you what I love.
Do you agree they're trends?
I couldn't tell you if these are trends or not. I have no clue.
Okay.
Because I don't know if they're coming or going, but I'm gonna rank these. Okay. And we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the worst trend.
Okay.
Okay. And by far the worst trend on here has got to be. Well, it's a sub trend. It's the checkerboard.
I knew you were gonna go
checkerboard floors are the worst, but competing with them for the best trend is potentially the stripes. So I'm on board with that. Then I'm gonna say. Double islands. I'm giving that worst trend.
Okay.
I think it's the least practical. Superfluous. It kind of looks stupid and would be really hard to undo. I'm saying that's terrible.
Okay.
Then, gosh, these are all pretty good. So I'm on board with a lot of them. I would say after that is this range alcove thing. I actually like it. It just is probably the least applicable, least practical for the average person unless you're doing a brand new kitchen from scratch. Kind of hard to incorporate. Then I would say, you've got showers with two types of tile,
right?
Which is different than the stripe pattern. I'm gonna say that's next worst because. Okay. I don't know. I don't know that one's quite a trend. Like we've been doing that for a minute and I don't think it's coming. I think it's going.
It's on its way out. It's jumped the shark.
On its way out. It's jumped the shark. Then you know what? I'm going to say Butlers Pantries.
Oh, no way.
I mean, they're fine, but again, hard to incorporate, pretty expensive. It's not a ton of practicality. There's but just a bit of
ton of practicality.
Just a bit of a flex.
Nothing but practical.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we're getting into the good stuff, okay? Whoops. I would say after that, Zeliage tile.
Okay.
I'm here for it. Not that here for it.
You're neutral? That's
I'm
the middle
okay.
one?
Yeah, middle of the road.
Okay.
Then I'd say after that, I like this mixing materials in the kitchen.
Okay.
Feeling that. Pretty easy to do. Not a ton of extra cost. Love that. After that, ceiling treatments. I love me a good ceiling treatment.
Okay.
But pretty expensive. A little hard to incorporate. I would say next is these earth tones, taupe, beige with a degree. Yeah. I like that.
Okay.
And then I would say my favorite one has got to be the tile patterns.
Okay, vertical tile patterns.
Love that. It needs to be on every house. I'm here for it.
Okay.
Was that an accurate ranking, Massiel?
What's your favorite one, Massiel?
My favorite's the kitchen island.
The double islands.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst one. That was terrible.
No, that's my favorite.
Wow. Okay.
Everybody's got their own
strokes, different strokes.
Yeah.
Well, this is cool.
This is fun. I can't wait for your technology trends.
Tech trends of 2024. Yeah, I'll be at the end of this year. I'll be just uploading my consciousness to the metaverse, and
you're just gonna be in a virtual world anyway.
I'll just be AI Lincoln.
Then you could put in you could change the tile pattern on your shower every day.
Yeah, that's what the Vision Pro would give you the ability option to do. You just get new tile, new kitchen every day.
Yeah, who did?
Something to look at. Okay.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all. Comment on this video and tell us what's your favorite design trend. Are there any that we missed?
Yes, and make sure that you are subscribed to the Awesome Flipsters podcast. If you want us to help you incorporate some of these trends into your own flip project, we would love to help you get started.
It's going to be vertical stripe tile.
It's going to be vertical stripe tile. We're putting our foot down on that one. But if you want some of the other ones, maybe you'll have a say. Go check out homemade.co or the link in the description. We'd love to work with you as a client, get you guys flipping your first projects. We'll help you find it, renovate it, sell that thing.
And you know it'll be on trend.
You know it'll be on trend. Thanks for watching the Awesome Flipsters podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.